Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? All of you guys, can you please reply on chat window? Yes, if I'm audible. Yes, okay. Okay, so let me share my screen. Are you guys able to see my screen? Please reply yes, no, no. 1 minute. Okay. Now is it visible? Yeah, in question pen only you can write. Okay. So are you able to see my screen? Please type into chat window question bar. Yes, no. Okay. Hello everyone. Can you please confirm, are you guys able to see my screen? Please type in chat window yes. If you guys able to see my screen. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, so let me start. So welcome everyone. Welcome to Ethan's Tech. Okay, we are going to demonstrate here about RPA. So before going to start about RPA implementation and tools, so can you give, do you have any idea about what is RPA? If you have some knowledge, just type yes. If you don't have, then also it's fine. Okay, so that I can come to know what's your background. If you have some idea, please say yes. Yes. Many people have some idea about RPA, and you are having no idea. That's fine. Okay, before fine. Thank you so much for your quick response. Okay, so RPA is a robotic process automation, which is going to help us in terms of automating the day-to-day life activities, maybe technical front end and background automation process, different kind of things, which we are going to discuss in today's discussion. Before going to start that technical discussion, I just want to introduce myself. Hello everyone, my name is Avinash Rode. I am having around 16 years of IT experience in different domains, multiple companies. Currently, I'm working as a, RPA architect, and I'm holding for machine learning and RPA, and which is a combination known as a cognitive RPA. So I'm working as a cognitive RPA consultant, in which I'm taking care about the technical stuff, design, as well as client handling. So now we will discuss about RPA. So anyone have any question about introduction about me? Let me know if you have any query about me. Okay. So let's start with RPA. So what is RPA? Basically, we are here to know what is RPA and where we can use. So RPA is simply a robotic process automation. So whatever day-to-day activity we are doing, that we are going to automate. But why we need RPA? Already we have many things available in industry, many alternatives are available. Okay, when we have a huge task which we want to perform on short time span, what we do? We can outsource the task, one option. We can do the automation with the help of other automation tools, right? But why we go for RPA? We can include extra resources. We can hire extra manpower if we have a resource crunch or huge requirement. Okay, but nowadays people are going for RPA. The reason is RPA gives you many things. Okay, very first thing, it gives you accuracy in terms of human. If we can hire a number of humans, yes, we can perform the same task in the limited time frame, right? But with the help of a number of resources, there can be a number of challenges also, right? What are the challenges we may face when we are performing with the humans? Okay, so could you tell me plus? Okay, Nikita is having question cognitive RPA as well. We go for forward. Okay, so Nikita, the thing is that cognitive RPA is a combination okay, where your bot can take decision on the fly. When we are going for process automation, it will automate the task what you are doing in day-to-day life. Okay, I'm not audible. Am I audible now? Hello? Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Now am I audible? Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so let me repeat the thing. I was at the question. Nikita was asking something. So the thing is, Nikita was asking about the cognitive RPA. So when we talk about cognitive RPA is a advanced level of RPA. When we go for normal process automation, we can do it with the help of normal automation tools and RPA also. What is provided with the help of UiPath? What UiPath is saying, you can go for advanced section where you can implement the AI also. What is AI? AI is artificial intelligence. So when we have a combination of artificial intelligence with RPA, that means we can design a bot which will take a decision on the fly. Okay, what artificial intelligence and machine learning provides us capability to take decision based on the historical data. So those compatibilities we can emerge with the RPA, and that is a cognitive RPA, which makes IQ bot or advanced bots. Okay, So that is next level of RPA what you can upgrade in future. If anyone is interested, can go for that also. So the starting point is you should know the RPA first. What is RPA and how can we do that? As well as if you have knowledge of machine learning and artificial intelligence, then you can immerse both the technologies and you can go for cognitive RPA. Clear? Okay. Nikita, I hope I answered your question. Shall we go further? Okay, no more doubts. Let's go for the next. Yeah, fine. So we were talking about robotic process automation. So what is happening in a real time when we are going for day-to-day life activity or a legacy system when we process? Yes. Yeah, 1 minute, Akanksha. I'll clear your doubt. Okay. So the thing is that when we perform any process in day-to-day life, human can do the mistakes, very common things, right? But bots, once it is trained, it will perform same thing repetitively n number of times without any mistakes. What human can do by commonly. So that is a one common feature why we go for RPA. Yeah, I'm getting few more questions. Yeah, this is a very good question. Okay, so do we need any prior knowledge of coding? So the thing is that many people have this good common question. Do we require anything to learn RPA? So no, there is no prerequisite for RPA. If you are good in analysis, then you can easily implement that. Okay, and that's why non-IT people can also learn RPA and work on RPA very easily, and there is no prerequisite. Yes, but you should know the tool and the concept of RPA, how it works and how we can utilize it. So that's what we are going to learn and we are going to discuss in day-to-day life. And let me tell you, it's very easy to implement as compared to coding languages. If you want to do some activity in programming language, it will take a lot of efforts. You should know the technical things as well as the coding standards, but in RPA it's very easy to implement and for maintenance also. Okay, the next question is arriving. 2-3 people are asking same thing. Vishal, Julie. Okay, so and it's about the Selenium. RPA is like Selenium. No, it's not like Selenium. It's a different tool. Okay, it is not about just testing automation. Selenium is used for testing automation, right? RPA can be used anywhere. Okay, not only for testing your day-to-day life activity, process deployment, development, background automation, whatever we do in day-to-day life. Okay, yes, good question people are asking. Okay, so I have one query for all of you guys. Can you tell me what day-to-day activity you guys are doing, which we can say it is a repetitive task which you are doing, apart from Selenium or coding, normal day-to-day life, like email checking, right? We commonly do that. That also can be done with the help of RPA. We can automate that activity. Okay. Abhishek is having query. I think most of the things will get clear. Okay, once I'll clear the I'll go through with the daily reporting, Excel exporting, Excel reporting. Yes, Samir, correct. These things are perfect. Ramya Arora is also asking some questions. Yes, email checking, data fetching. Those are the things what we do in day-to-day life that takes extra human efforts or time, which we can deploy on the bots, or system can take care of those things automatically, so that our actual human resources can be more productive, more creative. And that's the reason people or industries are going for RPA. So that is a good thing. You people have some idea about that thing. Yeah, so the thing is that we will see few more questions later on. Let me continue with this topic. Okay, we will discuss and we will have questions at the end of the session. Okay, so what is RPA? Because many people have no idea what is RPA, so we'll go one by one. Okay, so if you have questions, just keep posting. I'll check the questions later on. Yeah. So what is RPA? As I mentioned, it is going to automate the process where we can use the RPA. Okay, simply as you people mentioned that, and this is the common thing when we are going for normal day-to-day activity, email checking, processing of a data, okay, anything, Excel automation, those activities we can do with the help of R. One simple example, let's say we have a help desk team in our companies, right? We always have a product support team where a number of resources are there which are helping to our customers. Client may ask any query, there can be any issues. Ticketing system is always there for all the applications which are available in our industry, right? So what we do, uh, we raise a ticket and help desk guy will check that ticket, what is the issue, and they are going to check their system, maybe a number of portals or any application. From there they are going to validate the data and fix the issue, and they are going to send us a confirmation mail or whatever is the communication needed, they will communicate via email, right? So that thing can be automated with the help of RPA. Yes, it's very easy. And if you think in terms of cost effectiveness, yes, it is very cost effective, because if we say there are n number of candidates or n number of human resource I required to support my customers, actual customers, right? So let's say I'm having 100 manpower to perform this activity. I'm getting, let's say, thousands of tickets every day. Okay, I have a huge telecom application support. So in that case, I will get thousands of tickets every day. Now to tackle those tickets, I required, let's say, 100 resources in my support team. Those people are doing repetitive tasks. Okay, so can it be automated? Yes, if you automate, what will be the benefit? Okay, in terms of company costing as well as the customer satisfaction level, we should think in both way. Now, very first thing, if we talk in terms of human in a legacy system activity, what will happen? There are a number of candidates. They are coming at the morning. They are going to check their emails. They will open one by one ticket and they will analyze and perform the action. So to access one ticket and analyze and replying to the customer, it may take, let's say, 1 hour time for a big challenging thing, right? So in a day, one resource will work for 8 tickets, maybe maximum 20 tickets, depending on the complexity. Let's say one resource is handling 10 tickets per day. Okay, so I'm having 100 resources which are taking care about 1000 tickets per day, right? But the same thing if I deploy on the RPA bots. Bots are directly at least 10 times faster than human. So what will happen? I will be able to tackle 10 times more tickets in a day. So my productivity will increase. Simple thing is that. Very good thing is that, yes, my productivity will increase. I'll get the customer trust also, as well as I'll get more business, right? One thing. Number two, how it will improve the cost. Okay, how it will save companies cost. If we say we are having 100 resources and we are paying for them for 24 by 7, so we have 124 by 7 support. So what we require for 24 by 7, we require 3 resources for one day, right? So we require 3 shifts, 3 resources. But if we deploy in the bot, what will happen? One bot will work 24 by 7. So in that case, the resources count will be 1/3. Simple thing is that. So it will cost wise, if we calculate, let's say for 100 resources, I'm paying per head 6 lakh CTC for average, if we can consider. So my bot, if we say we compare it with a bot, if we replace 100 resources with bot, we required 1/3 only, right? Not 100 resources, we required 1/3 resources, because one bot will work 24 by 7. So divided by 3. So my cost for 100 resources will be 6 CR, which is right now in a legacy system. If I'm going with the full human are working on that process. But if you go in terms of RPA, what will happen? 1/3. So it will come up to just 2 CR. Now as we talk about the performance wise, it is 10 times faster, so we can reduce cost in that terms also. So if we check with the in terms of speed, the cost will be less. So how much my cost will be now? It will be just divided by 10, it will be just 20 lakh. So if you see, the current cost to company is 6 cr, now it is just 20 lakh. So how much it is improving? I think it is more than 80 to 90% improvement in the cost. Okay, as well as a human, we may do a mistake. It's a common thing, right? A typo mistake or some misunderstanding, anything can be there, right? But in terms of bots, robots will not do those mistakes, very common mistakes what human can do, that will not be there. So that will give me accuracy level one more higher as a comparing to the normal humans. So that's how we can build the trust of customer and we are getting more things. Clear? Is this clear why we are going for RPA? If anyone have any question, please let me know about RPA. What is RPA and why we use RPA? We will see in detail other things also. Please type in question window if you have any question, or say yes so that we can go for next. If you clear, all of you got the concept what is RPA and why we use RPA? Yes. Okay, clear. Okay, fine. Thank you so much for your response. Many people say yes. Okay, someone is having question. So in future, support job will not be on risk because of RPA. Yes, Jayant. Yes, this is the good question. And actually, this is not question. It is a real-time scenario. What is happening right now? If you see what is going on, different companies, Infosys and Cognizant, other companies also, they are already automating the things, and many people who are on production support are shifting to RPA, and that those processes are migrating on the RPA. Many people are doing that thing. I'm also part of that, so I know that people are doing those automations. So companies are thinking to cost saving, right? It's a simple thing. Company wants to save the cost and improve the business, so RPA is helping them. So that is the real time scenario. So simple thing is that we also have to upgrade as per the industry level, and RPA is the thing which will be in future because it is going to automate many things, right? So your question is correct, and that is what happening in industry right now, and this is the right time where we need to upgrade ourselves. Because if we are on the traditional technologies or traditional framework, which will not be in future, so there will be less number of job opportunities. So if we upgrade ourselves as soon as possible, we will get more job opportunities. Because industry is moving for RPA automation, we should upgrade ourselves. Yes, that's the question people are going for. Why to Yes, this is Selenium. Many people have this question about Selenium and RPA and testing automation. I'm telling you again one more time. Might be that time you have not heard. Simple thing is that if you talk about test automation, it is just for IT. Okay, when we are performing some change request or a software development cycle, what we are doing, we are just automating that task, which is a repetitive in our SDLC cycle or waterfall model in our project development cycle, right? But what about the production environment? What end user is doing, what our support teams are doing, whatever the back office activities are doing, those things also can be automated with the help of RPA. So Selenium is a different concept. It is just for test process automation. RPA is to automate any business process. It is not for testing automation. It can automate any business process. Okay. Yes, someone is asking same question. You can automate testing things also with the help of RPA. I'm not saying that it can replace the Selenium, but yes, we can automate testing suits also. People are doing that thing also, right? So how is the demand in RPA? So Vishal, this is this common thing, everyone is going for RPA, and many business processes are going to automate with the help of RPA. So there is a huge demand. So I don't need to check the list. You can just understand if all the processes are going for production support and other business processes are going to automate with the help of RPA, there will be definitely demand, right? And it is in boom right now. Everyone is thinking for automation. Yes, post-production automation, even your normal day-to-day life cycle, right? What kind of processes that I will, Rama Arora, I will explain that thing in a couple of minutes. So what we can use. Okay. So this is simple RPA and what we are doing and where we can do. So whatever activities we are doing in our business process, not only for the IT companies, non-IT companies also, okay, like purchase order, sales order, customer feedback, okay, many things are there which we need to automate and which can be automated with the help of RPA to improve the business as well as get the customer satisfaction, right? And cost saving. These are the very common things why we need to go for RPA. So I hope most of the people got their answers clear. Okay. Now, what are the tools and techniques and how to implement? How can we implement the RPA and the ways to implement that? Very simple thing, we come to know RPA is in demand. It is going to see my cost. It is going to improve the performance, accuracy level. Many things are there. So how can we implement? That is a very common question. Very first thing is that we need to understand the where we can implement. Okay, in the business process, whatever we are doing right now, we need to understand which segment we can automate. Okay, it is not like everything we can automate. Let's say I'm going for appraisal cycle. Okay, appraisal, candidate appraisal, we can do the calculation, PDF generation, and new salary revision and all the things we can automate. But what about the negotiation or interaction with the manager? Manager will discuss one-to-one with the candidate, so that will be the human interaction. Let's say we are going for joining process or recruitment process automation. Yes, candidate shortlisting, offer letter releasing, background verification, many things we can automate. But some piece of business process where HR is going to negotiate with the candidate in terms of salary negotiation or joining date negotiation, whatever is that, okay, that cannot be automated. So that part will be human driven only. Remaining things we can automate with the help of RPA. So the very first point or entry point is that we should understand the business process, what is going on right now, and we need to identify the area what we can automate and up to which level we can automate. Okay, so there are few steps I'll show you. Okay, how can we do that? So there are different phases what we can use. Okay, so let me show you what we can do, where we can do. There are many things. I'll show you that slide so that you can refer it. Okay, this is the okay. So what we need to do, we need to identify the area opportunities where we can implement, and then we need to fine tune that thing. Okay, we understood the business process. Okay, this is the thing what I am going to automate. Okay, company is saying we need to automate the thing to save the cost, improve the performance, and so on. So reasons. So first thing, we need to identify which components or which part of this entire business process can be automated and which need to be with the human driven only. Because let's say some approvals, purchase order is there, invoice generation is there, so everything is there, right? But approval, that can be done by the manager or director level, so that will be human driven approval kind of thing. So we need to identify and optimize the process which we are going to automate. The second level, the next, we need to design the business process, build the business case for RPA journey, how we are going to implement in different phases and different components which we are going to interact, or different applications. Those things are part of design level, or as a BA, or when we are interacting with the client, we need to understand the things and we need to create a proper workflow design how our RPA is going to implement. Then what we need to do, we need to actually implement the RPA, right? At this moment, this is the very important thing. This moment, when we come to know we are going to automate and these are the steps which we are going to automate and this is the time frame, we need to take the decision which process or which tool I should opt, which tool will be helpful for me, right? So tool decision is a very important thing. We need to select the particular tool which I can use. There are many vendors available in the industry, like UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, WorkVision, OpenSpin, many things are there. Okay, many vendors are there which are providing RPA. UiPath is one of them, which is the best in industry right now, on the topmost position in terms of community support, in terms of license costing. Many things are there. We will discuss in detail what are the features UiPath also providing, why UiPath is in demand, and why we are going for UiPath, and why we are discussing about UiPath. I'm just giving you general idea what is RPA and how to implement RPA. So once we selected, okay, we are going for the UiPath, we need to start the actual implementation of the bot. Okay, and that is very easy in UiPath. Once it is done, we will deploy and perform the operations. I have got question. 1 minute. What kind of processes with RPA? That's fine. One question is that we can automate the process through RPA, but we can Selenium. But what is the benefit with that? Yeah, Rama, I'm telling you the same thing again and again. Selenium is for testing automation, web-based application automation, but RPA is again same thing I'm telling you. Okay, it is for business process automation. Multiple applications you can automate, not only the web-based or testing thing. So I think I'm getting repetitive questions about Selenium versus RPA. So it is a totally different thing. Okay, it is for business process. Okay. So in RPA, we are automating the business process. Let's say I want to do email automation. Selenium cannot do that. Selenium is for web-based and testing process. So that Selenium is having its own domain, its own requirement, what it is going to helpful for us. Okay, and RPA is having a different feature, different domain at all. Yes, for RPA, the best thing is that right now in the industry, UiPath is the #1 tool available in the industry because of many features. It is having basically 3 components. Okay, I'll show you how it works. Okay, it is having first component, which is Studio, which provides you features to design and develop your workflow and automate your business process. Okay. It's a business process automation tool. RPA is a concept, okay, and the tools are UiPath, Blue Prism, Livewell. Okay, so if we talk in terms of RPA comparison of different tools, which tool is the best and how can we implement the thing, so I'll tell you. Okay, in UiPath it is the simple one. It is having 3 components. Okay, if we talk about UiPath, and very first thing is that why we are going for UiPath. Yeah, I'm getting questions. Yeah. Okay, I'll take questions in couple of minutes. Let me give idea about UiPath, because most of questions are related to that. Which one is the best tool and what are the necessary things? Okay, we'll discuss that thing. Most of the questions will get clear in this session. So I'll take the questions after 10-15 minutes. Let me continue with the UiPath features. You will get your answers. Most of the answers will be there. Okay. So when we talk about UiPath, what UiPath is providing us, why we are going for UiPath, there are common questions, right? As compared to Blue Prism or Automation Anywhere or different tools, why we people are not going? Why UiPath is on the #1 position in terms of customers, in terms of revenue, right? So I'll tell you that thing. First thing is that it is providing in a 3 different components. Okay, it is not only one suite, it is having 3 components. First one is your Studio, which will help us to improve the business process, where you will design the process, you will develop your workflow, and you can do the testing and implementation, whatever you want to do with the business process automation, right? Second component it provides is a agent which will actually work on behalf of us, or we can say it's a software bot. Okay, it is not a physical robot. In RPA it provides software bots only. So UiPath is having first component, which is a studio, which will allow us to design the workflow and develop the things. After that, agent, which will perform the action at the client environment. Whatever process we have designed, it is going to execute. The next thing is that it is providing third component, which is a orchestrator. Okay, so studio allows you to implement the business logic, okay, business process automation. Your bot will perform actions on the client environment, and orchestrator is going to handle the things, or it is going to the administrative task. It is going to perform administrative tasks. We'll see all the components one by one. Let me show you UiPath Studio. This is the first component which provides you all the features. How can we work on that? Okay, so UiPath is giving you graphical user interface. That is the best feature in UiPath. UiPath provides you feature in which you can design your business process with the help of drag and drop facility, as well as if you have programming capability, you can immerse that thing, as well as it is providing you recording features, okay, which are not available with other tools also. If we see in comparison with the Blue Prism, Blue Prism is not having recording as of now. Okay, so that's the reason we prefer UiPath, because what happened when I'm going to draw the workflow design, I need to understand and I need to implement everything. What if system will capture the things automatically? That capability provided with the UiPath. So what happening, whatever activities I'm doing, I can start recording and system will take care of all the things and it will create the workflow on behalf of me. So that is the advanced feature in UiPath. It provides you that feature, as well as it provides you many plugins with many different components, many different uh, applications. So it is very easy. It is like a plug and play facility. UiPath provides you plug and play facility so that you can easily play with other tools, other applications, web application, desktop application. Even you can interact with the cloud or database servers also. So that is very easy with the UiPath. Let me show you how it works. So when you have a UiPath Studio, this is your first screen where you will see the project and processes. So whenever we want to perform operation on UiPath, what I need to do, I need to start the process. So whenever we start the project, it will be a process which we are going to automate. Okay, you can give any name, demo process. Okay, let's say I want to take input from user and calculate its annual salary and tax. This is the very simple thing I want to perform. If I go with any programming language, what I need to do, I need to write a complex program. I need to took some inputs and I need to work on that. Okay, so deployment and development is very common thing in IT industry. So whenever we go for RPA bots in UiPath specifically, the development is easy as well as deployment is also very easy. So for deployment, we need to take a huge outage for that and complex things. But with the help of orchestrator, we can easily deploy the things. Okay? Very easily. I'll show you how can we do that thing. Okay. Are you guys able to see UiPath Studio on my screen? Please say yes if you all are able to see this. Yes. Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is simple first process which I'm going to automate. Let's say I'm having a requirement. I need to take the input from user. It's a employee ID, salary, and some tax calculation I want to perform. How can we do? Okay, it's very simple in UiPath. So when we start the UiPath, what it provides me, this studio, this is the tool which is provided with UiPath, and we can design our workflow here. As I mentioned, by default, when we start, it gives me a main XAML. Okay, in main XAML, it is allowing me a work area where I can drop the activity. What it is mentioning here, drop activity. So it clearly mentioned that it is working with the activities. Activities means what? Whatever actions we want to perform in our business process, whatever activities we are doing, that activity we need to automate. So what UiPath is saying, it is having n number of activities collection with UiPath, and we don't need to design, we don't need to develop anything. We need to just plug and play with those activities in the sequential manner how we are doing in a day-to-day life. Okay, I 1 minute, some questions are coming. I'm working on banking domain, Pallavi. Yeah, in banking domain also RPA is used. Yes, already HSBC, ICICI already implemented that thing. HDFC is also. Even IndusInd Bank last year, they are processing their credit card process automation with the help of RPA. So, okay, please hold on for questions. I'll take after 10-15 minutes. Let me show you the tool, the studio first of all, then I'll take the questions. So in studio, what was my requirement? Use case is that I want to take the input from user. Okay, it's a salary and I want to just calculate the tax. Okay, it's very easy. What I need to do, I need to take the input, very first thing. So that means there should be some input activity. So in this screen, uh, where is activity? So it is very simple thing. This left side, if you see in this tool, this is the project information demo process, and it is showing the dependencies. Some libraries are already included in this. We will see in detail what are the libraries and how can we take a new libraries, how can we download and plug and play with that in actual classes. Okay, so most of the things are there. Okay, so here we can see in second pane activities. It gives me a search, very simple thing and very easy. I like UiPath because it is giving very hand user friendly interface and I can easily work on it. So what I need to do, I want to take input from user. So I'll take simple, I'll just type input. I'll get the activity name here. I don't need to remember even activity. If I know the just basic concepts, I can just understand, okay, what activities are required. We will take an input activity, just drag and drop. Okay, no much programming is needed, no complications are there. Simply I just drag and drop the input dialog, it appears here. Okay, when I click on input dialog, I can see at right side here there are some properties. Okay, okay, in these properties I can see many things. We will see all the properties in our actual session one by one. What are the important things? I'll tell you here. When we go for input dialog, what will happen? It will pop up to user and it will prompt user to enter the let's say employee salary or employee name. So we'll pass message user that please enter your name and salary. So let's say enter your name. Very simple thing. Okay, and the label for text field, let's say e name. Right, whenever we take input from user and we are going to process on that input value, we need to hold that data in some container or memory. So that memory is known as a variable. So what we need to do in this activity, in property, if you see at the right side, output is there. So output result, what input dialog will do, it will take the input from user and it will give me output, okay, in the process. So to hold that, I need to create a variable which will hold that value. So how can we create a variable? Again, it's very simple. You don't need to do any much complication thing. Very simple. You can create here. Control K is a shortcut, and you can just give the variable name. So str ename. I am giving name. Str ename. You can give any name. It's up to your wish. Okay, it has been created. How can I verify whether the variable has been created or no? Here UiPath gives you again user-friendly environment. You can just click on variable. Wait a minute. Huh. So if I select on variable, I can see that variable is appearing on my screen, right? And its type is generic value. Okay, its type is generic value. Why it is generic value? Name can be string, but user can pass numerical as well as string, both type of data. So that's why when we create a variable, by default it becomes a generic value. But in my case right now, what I required a string. I can change the data type here. So it's again very simple thing. You just drag and drop and you will get the string type argument. You just change it. So its type has been changed. It's very easy. Now I want to take one more input. Again, I can drag and drop, or another feature, you click on plus. Here also you can use input. Okay. So many things are there, many ways to implement the same thing. I'm going to take input. Please enter EMP salary. Very simple thing. Okay. This is my label. Fine. Again, in this case, I'm going to hold the data. I'll create another variable. Okay. We can create variables in variable pen directly also. So here also I can create a new variable. Let's say integer sal. Okay. Now this time salary will be my numerical data. So I will not go for a string. I'll change the data type. Again, same thing. You just click on this and integer 32. So now here you can see it's very easy in UiPath to change the data type, create the variables and connect them. Automatically you can see those activities are interconnected. You can see this arrow, right? So that means when I will run the process, it will execute sequentially. So automatically sequence is created. So by default, UiPath creates a sequence and connect the activity when you are going to start a process with the sequence. As in when you are going to connect the activities, it is going to work accordingly. Now I just want to just first display the data before going to process further. I want to verify whatever user entered, that data is captured correctly or no. So how can we display the data? Again, simple thing, we will use the message box to display the data. Okay. I'll mention here employee name. Okay. So employee name, actual name, whatever user has passed, that was in a variable. So I'll concatenate this literal with the variable. Again, it's simple plus to concatenate, and the variable name was str. If you type str, automatically you can see that drop down is there. Okay, so it is showing me the variable name. So even I don't need to remember entire variable name. With the help of abbreviations you can understand. So what prefix I'm using? Str for strings. So this is how I can understand, or I can remember that okay, it is a data type of string, so variable name will also automatically come. Plus, let's say I want to display salary, and space salary is okay. Again, concatenate with integer salary. Right. Now here, one interesting thing is that it is showing some blue icon. It means something wrong in this. Okay. So now you can see दूसरी लैंग्वेजेस में आपको क्या करना पड़ता है, कंपाइल करना पड़ता है. That time you will come to know that कि मेरे प्रोग्राम में error. What UiPath is saying, UiPath is showing you warnings on the fly when you are developing your process. At that time, if something is wrong, you don't need to compile. It is a runtime, it will show you. So it is a very user friendly tool, and it is showing actual warning. What it is showing, if you see, if you keep your mouse on that particular icon, it will show you the correct exception or a problem statement. What is the problem? Okay, so here the problem is I'm passing this variables in this text area. Okay, and the message box property is it is going to tackle the only text value, and integer salary data type is a numeric value. So what I need to do, I need to typecast it. So typecasting is also very simple. Just you have to place the dot, and there are functions available. I'll use the toString. So with the name, you can easily understand toString. It will convert that data in a string format, and it will work fine for me. So you can see that warning is not there now. So as of now, do I require any programming knowledge, programming background? No, it's a very simple thing. You just need to plug and play with the activities and pass the values. We don't need much technical expertise to implement the thing. Okay, तो यहाँ तक हो गया है. Let's check I'm getting correct value or no. To execute this workflow, again it is showing simple play icon here. If I click on this, I can see three different options here: run file, and debug. Debug for debugging purpose. We will see in actual classes how can we debug the workflow and how can we fix the things if something goes wrong in our workflow. Right now we are just going to execute the file. Just run the file. Now it is showing me pop-up window where I need to type the employee name. So here you can see simply what I have given, one label and text information, right? Title. So the title was please enter your name, which is appearing in my box. So this is how we can configure the things very easily in UiPath. We don't need much technical knowledge, okay, or programming knowledge. It's very simple tool, and that's why we are learning UiPath, and that's why UiPath is in demand. Okay, so let's execute this part. Uh, let's say just click on this. Okay, now what is the salary? Let's say for example 75,000. Simple. Okay, what it is showing? Salary is 0, employee name is the thing, right? It is showing the name, but salary is 0. Can anybody tell me what is wrong? There was a catch. What we have done? If anybody can have idea, just type in chat window. I want to see how many people are able to understand. What was wrong? Can somebody tell? Yeah, integer. Okay, please everybody, if you guys can give me any idea. Typecasting doesn't work. Okay, integer, typecast. Okay, I okay. We already did typecasting. Something else. Think again. We don't initialize the salary. Okay, Shashank, we already initialized. By default, system will initialize. So this is the one more interesting part. In UiPath, we don't need to initialize. With the help of data type, system will initialize by default. So by default for integer, it is not showing you null value, it is showing 0. 0 is initialized. Vishal database, no. Yes, think other people, please give your answer. What you think? What happened wrong here? It's very simple thing. Anyone else? Yes, by default it is taking 0, result not stored. Okay, yes, this is the correct thing. What we have done, we have just created the variable, but if you see here, correct answer. What we have done in this two input dialog, if you see, are you guys able to compare? In the first input dialog, what we have done in result, we have defined the variable name. So whatever input user is passing is going to store in this variable. But in case of salary, this result is empty. Even though we created variable, we have not allocated that value. So default value is 0. So let's correct this. What we need to do again, salary. Now this time I don't need to create, it is already there. Fine. So let's execute it again. I'm not able to see. Jyoti, you are not able to see screen. Other people, are you guys able to see my screen? Okay, fine. So Jyoti, I think there is some problem at your side connection. Just try to reconnect, or maybe network issue. Okay. So now you can see this pop-up window is up. Now this time, before going to provide the data, I want to tell you one more thing here. We are designing process in our studio, but you can see here this uh, icon UI demo process. If you see, this is the actual agent. What I was talking about, first component is a studio and second component is a robot which is going to perform the action. So this is the agent which will perform action on behalf of us. So when we run the process, agent invoke automatically with the help of studio. Even manually we can invoke that, we can schedule that thing. So we will see those things in upcoming sessions. How can we set those things in robot configuration and orchestrator management and scheduling tasks. Okay, so this is the second component which is going to perform action. So let's pass again same value. Okay, I'm going to give different value. Let's say Rajat. The employee name is Rajat and salary is let's say 7,000. Now it is taking the value. Perfect. So the thing is that implementation is very easy and we need to just map the things, right? So we are taking inputs and we are going to process. So we are discussing about the use case. Yes, I got the question. Can we take a list, tuple? Yes, many things are there. Multiple inputs are there. We will see in actual sessions how can we work with the different data types and the collections also. Yes, many more things are there. Let's continue with this use case and I'll take the other questions later on. So we verified that we are getting the data. Now what I need to do, I want to perform a calculation, payroll calculation for employee, it's a salary, annual salary and tax calculation. So what I'm going to take here, I'll take one sequence, different sequence or a sub block. Okay. Now what I'm doing, I'm creating a blocking. So this is my main block, main process block, and now I'm creating sub block. In this sub block, I'm going to perform calculations for tax and the annual salary. So what I need to do, again, I will take one message box just for make it more meaningful or interactive. Payroll started. Very simple thing. Okay, I'm just keeping one message box so that I can understand this is the thing. I'll change the sequence name also. Payroll. Okay, now this will helpful for me in terms of debugging and analysis. Whenever we are having different activities, we can rename those activities. So this is main sequence, this is payroll sequence. So sub block mechanism and handling is very easy in UiPath. Okay, it is showing you graphical user interface and changing the things is very easy. Now I want to calculate the thing. Okay, so what I want to do, what was my requirement, the use case, I want to calculate the annual salary. So I'll assign the new value in a new variable. What I will do, I'll just take a assign activity, simple. Now we are taking employee salary and we want to assign it to a different variable. So I need to create one more variable to hold the annual salary. So again, control K, a cell, very simple variable name, we can define anything. A cell. What is the a cell value? It will be employee salary multiplied by 12. Simple, no warning, nothing is wrong. But again, you need to check here, what is the data type of annual salary? It is the generic value. Again, we need to change it to integer. Similarly, I want to calculate tax. Okay, so control C. You can do the copy paste also. You don't need to just go and drag and drop activities or plus. If you know, you can copy paste also. Okay, so I want to calculate EMP tax. So I'll create one more variable, EMP tax. Tax कितना होगा? Annual salary का, let's say base tax we will go with the 10%. So annual salary divided by 10 is cell divided by 10. Okay, now again, if we are going for employee tax, the data type, okay, we will make a 30. But in practical scenario, is it possible that we will get only integer value tax can be, or salary can be floating values also? So what I need to do, if you see here, it is showing warning, because if you perform any arithmetic operation or especially division, that value may be in a decimal value. So UiPath is very friendly, user friendly. It is showing you that warning, yes, in future you may get the exception. So you don't need to worry, most of the things taken care in a UiPath. So it is showing warning, that means I need to change the data type. How can we change the data type? Again, we can go for a drop down and we can see, okay, here is no double or floating value. So what we need to do, we need to browse the data type. There are n number of data types available. So here I'll take system dot double. Okay. So my data type has been changed. Now warning is disappear. That means it is fine. Perfect. So this is my inner block which is going to calculate the thing. Okay, after the block, okay, we can minimize this very easily. I want to just again display the message. EMP tax equal to, and again concatenation, simple what we have seen. So we will go for it. Now here that text variable is not appearing. What was the name of that text variable? EMP tax, right? Here if we go, no, variable is not available. Can someone tell me what is the issue here? Please type in that chat window. Yes, what do you think? What is wrong here? You don't need much technical knowledge, just common thing. It's just common sense if you think somewhere. Define a payroll, okay. Select the payroll sequence, yeah. Anything else under the variable? Okay. Anything else? It is simple concept. Yes, good. I got the almost correct answers. People are intelligent. Yeah. So what is happening if I select the payroll and if I check the variable, it is there. If you see these two variables, scope is payroll, and these two variables are in a sequence. So that means these are the block level variables. So scope of variable is within the payroll. Okay, and few variables scope is sequence, our main process. So what I need to do, because I want to use these variables outside the payroll block, I need to change the scope. So what we will be selecting, we will select the outer block. Okay, so if it is in a outer block, it can be accessible here. Now if I type here emp tags, so I can see emp tags is visible now. Yes. Okay, so it is simple thing, we need to change the scope. Once the scope is changed, we are able to see the variable. It's very simple. Now again we are getting the same some warning here. Okay, so can someone tell me what is the warning and why we are getting this warning? We have seen couple of minutes before this same thing. Why we are getting this warning? Please type in chat window. No, it is in a variable. Anyone else? After plus we need to give space. Okay, anything else? Guys, please give your input so that I can understand whether you guys are understanding or no. Yeah, I got correct answer from one person. Other people, please answer. Yeah, float is the same thing. Double is for float only. Decimal values. Anyone else? Why we are getting this warning? That is the question. So any idea? Please respond on your chat window. Okay. Okay, let me tell you guys. Few people give correct answer. Okay. Dot to string typecasting. We have seen that thing couple of minutes before only, right? Message box allows you strings only. So if we have different data type object, we need to typecast it. Got it? Okay. So warning is not there, and now let's see whether it is working fine or no. This is very simple process, and we have implemented very simply. Yes. Payroll is started. Now it is going inside the block. Employee tax is 6,000. Yes, perfect. Okay. Now let's say, okay, I want to reuse this component n number of times and n number of processes. So what we can do, we can make a reusable component or a different functions. Okay, so how can we create functions? How can we create a reusable component in UiPath? Is very simple. What we need to do, I'll just right click on this. I'll extract as a workflow. Payroll, fine. It will create a different process for me. Okay, now you can see here in project XAML, one more XAML file has been created automatically. We don't need to think how can we design, how can we create. It will automatically copy all the things and create that. As well as it is going to plug in with the main XAML. So what is happening? In this case, it is creating a separate XAML for you, as well as it is going to take a input output parameters. In this XAML, what we are passing input of employee salary, and we are getting the tax and annual salary. So it is already mapping here. You can see there are input parameters and output parameters, as well as the data type and mapping with the variables. So this is how UiPath is going to save our time and efforts very easily. If you see in payroll, because we are communicating between two XAMLs, it will create arguments. Automatically arguments also created. We don't need to worry about the data type and argument mapping and how we are going to pass the data. When you export, UiPath itself map everything and it creates for you. This is how UiPath makes developers life very, very easy. And that's the reason UiPath is the number one. Clear? In this use case, you got the scenario clearly. Anyone have any doubt in this use case? All of you got the concept? Let me run this again with this invoke payroll workflow. Same day, right? But now it is a reusable component. I can reuse the payroll functionality in other processes also. This is how we can create a reusable component very, very easily in UiPath. So what UiPath provides me? UiPath provides me Studio in which we can simply implement the thing and we can perform the things very well. Okay. Few more things I want to tell. Okay. Yeah, Shashank. Yes. Now we can take the questions. If you guys have any queries, please tell me. I have one more use case which I'm going to explain how we are going to take the sessions in future. Yes, if you guys have queries, please type in a question panel. Shashank is having question. Can I say that when we drag and drop, it generates the code on backend and their language? So there, which language is generated to? So it is basically .NET framework. Okay. So UiPath is designed on .NET as well as it is having C# component also. So .NET is a background language which is there. So if you know .NET, it's good to know. Okay, but it is not necessary to know that. It is a fine with non-technical person also. So it is not any kind of prerequisite. It is a plus add-on skill if you have. Will there be any file to run without dependency of UiPath? Uh, yes, if you don't want to run with the studio, that we can do. So that is a bot deployment. Okay, so when we have a bot, we don't require UiPath Studio because at the client side, we don't require all the setup. So when we talk in terms of the licensing of a component, that thing it comes into picture. Not much, Julie, we don't require much programming knowledge here. Whatever is required, basic concepts, yeah, it is no coding. And we need to write the workflow and some piece of conditional statement or business logic when we are implementing that easily you can upgrade and you can write on that thing. Okay, so that we will do in our actual hands-on session. So how we are going to take the sessions and trainings, let me tell you what we are going to do. The entire training program will be in our three sections. One is the foundation part of UiPath. Second will be our advanced components of UiPath Studio. Okay, UiPath activities. So that syllabus you will get soon. What we will be doing. So first is a basic foundation for UiPath in which we will understand the basic concepts of UiPath, how we can perform data table activities, Excel automation, those things we will understand in that. EPELs, programming logic if you want to implement. So that programming part will be covered in your foundation section. So those people who are from non-IT background, don't need to worry. In foundation section, we will cover those things only. Okay, and then when we will go for advanced, we will talk about the recording sections, how it works, and many data scraping, screen scraping, Citrix, remote machine accessing, remote machine automation, remote process automation, as well as web automation, data extraction from web services related to that. And the third thing will be administration section. which will be your orchestrator, in which you will be deployment of bot configuration, system configuration, machine configuration, process management, release management. So all those things will be covered in your administration section. So these will be the three sections of our training program. In this we will cover everything, not only from the foundation, in which we will take care about the non-IT people and the basic concepts of UiPath and RPA, where to use, how to use, and how to implement. As well as in advance, we will see the advanced components, recording features, other features, data scraping, OCR engines, how it improves the uh, scalability, and plugins with the different components, different tools that we will see in our advanced section. And in our orchestrator, it is a web-based cloud environment, so we will see the deployment is very easy. Okay, if we are from, if anyone you people are from IT background, you can understand that pain. At midnight we need to go to the production environment and deploy the things, okay, or weekends we need to do outage window. And RPA, in specifically in UiPath Orchestrator, you can control things from your mobile. What is the status of your robot? You can check on your mobile even. It is a web-based, cloud-based environment which you can access anywhere, anytime. If you have tenant access, you can connect with that. Okay, so this is the very simple thing. Deployment is easy, maintenance is easy, and that's the reason UiPath is in demand as compared to anything else. Okay, what are the roles? Now I can take the questions. Few people have questions. Data converted. That is done already. Yes, how can we read the data from Excel and those things we are going to see in couple of minutes, Amir. That's what the actual use case which I'm going to explain you in couple of minutes. Let me take other questions. I'm not still clear with the comparison with Selenium in RPA. Shashank, okay, Selenium is for test process automation, web-based applications. Okay, RPA is for business process. Let's say I want to perform web-based automation, that we can do with the RPA. We can go for desktop, and many things are there. So it is not only for testing; it can be for production. Okay, post deployment. See, if you think any tool which you are using right now in an industry, most of the tools for development cycle only. Okay, if you compare just for Selenium, I'll tell you Selenium can be used for development cycle, right? Testing automation. Is there anything else, Shashank? No, right? But if we say I want to use some client process automation, which client is going to perform, can we do with the Selenium? No, that cannot be done. That is for specifically testing. So that is having its own expertise domain for testing purpose, testing automation. But for business process automation, RPA is there. Clear, Shashank? Any doubt? Okay. Next question is what are the opportunities, Chetan? So see, as I mentioned initially, whatever technology you're working right now, you will get job opportunities in that technology. Very simple thing is that. Okay, let me clear this thing. Many people have this question in their mind. Okay, what will be the job opportunities if we change the job, our profile? Will we get a good salary hike or no? So very simple thing is that if you are learning a new technology, definitely you will get more job opportunities. That is the one common thing. Okay, because RPA is in demand. Why it is in demand? I already told you, it is giving you many features. Okay, cost saving, performance feature. So companies are going for RPA. If we are knowing in the same field, definitely we will get more job opportunities. Okay, in future many people are talking about Selenium. Let's say you are from the testing, manual testing, you need to upgrade yourself for automation, right? Okay, if you one application is Java based, one application is .NET based. Okay, if there is any change request come from the .NET application, I require .NET resources. If I got a requirement for Java based application, some changes are required, I required only Java resources. .NET resources are not required. But if both applications are automated with the help of RPA, RPA developer is required in both the cases. Now what is the job security? That is again a next question. When people are saying, if we automate everything, what will be my job security? Once it is automated, robot will perform. What I will do? See, any application, any business process keep changes. Okay, applications and processes are upgrading always. So whenever there is any change in the business process or upgradation, yes, RP developer needs to be there to retrain the bot or upgrade the RPA, right? So this is how we are getting our job security and more job opportunities in future. So it is just beginning of this RPA journey in India, right? So there are lot many things, lot many opportunities are in pipeline which will help us in future. So it is the right time to enter in this. Okay, and our course curriculum is inclined with the UiPath certification, which is with the UiPath. Okay, so once you are ready with this training program, you will be capable enough to track that certification. Most of my candidates, I can say almost 100%, I can say candidates which I have trained are UiPath certified. Okay, and once you have a global certification, definitely your weightage will be higher in market. Okay, and you will be in demand. So that is the best thing which I can say for you guys. If you learn UiPath and you crack the certification, you will get more job opportunities. That is a simple thing. I'm working on since 5 years. These are common things I'm getting. Okay, Sushil, different from DevOps. Development. No, RPA is not for development. It is not for web development or any business development or application development. RPA is for process automation. So Sushil, your question, how it will be comparing with the DevOps. DevOps is a different thing. It is for development tools. Many tools are there in Jenkins, SVN, Git, many things are there. Docker and all. RPA is not like that. Yes, those tools, if repetitive tasks are there, if you want to automate, you can automate with the help of RPA. That can be done. Yes, Julie, we can use that thing for ServiceNow tickets, SAP automation, whatever application you are using on your system, that can be automated with the help of RPA. That is the common thing. You can do that. It is in demand. Yes, Vishal, it is in demand. What is the difference? Rama, I told initially, is there any trial version for Blue Prism? No, and it is having different features with Blue Prism. UiPath is having more advanced features, more compatibility. The reason is UiPath is providing you community edition. Okay, with the help of community edition, almost 80 to 90% things you can automate. Okay, and as well as it allows you to perform on client environment also. So you can develop the process, you can deploy on client environment with the help of community edition. And that's the reason when we go for a new business process automation, we can simply test those things in UiPath. So mainly for POC purpose, client will not ready to give huge amount for licensing. Initially everybody is thinking, let's check whether RPA is going to helpful for me or not. UiPath provides those community edition. Okay, and which you can use very well. Do we have any certification program for UiPath? Yes, advanced development track, which we are talking. Harshal, may I know the certifications? So RPA development, security, architect level, different tracks are there. We are covering the advanced RPA developer certification in our course curriculum, which will be global certification. Yes, Samir, it is a global certification. but we are not providing, Ethans is not providing that certification. It is with the UiPath. Okay, you will appear in that UiPath certification exam, and you, once you clear that, you will get that. And what is the process of that certification? There are two sections in that. One is your theory exam and one is your practical. So in theory, once you clear, it is having 45 questions, MCQs. Once you clear the theory, you will go for advanced practical. Once you clear the practical, you will get a certificate from the UiPath, which will be globally accepted. Yeah, many onshore opportunities. Nikhil is having a question. What's my name? My name is Avinash Shirode. I given my introduction initially. Might be you missed that. How can RPA used in ETL? Yes, you can do. Very simple thing. I'll tell you. Many people are asking a specific question. Can we do for ETL? Can we do for Salesforce or particular tool? I'll tell you one common thing in terms of RPA, UiPath specifically. Whatever activities you can perform on what is the fee and other things, admin team can tell you what is the batch timing and fees. Okay, so that you can get. Harshal, for certification right now it is free available, so you can save that cost. Otherwise it is around $180. Okay, let me show you one more use case with this. If I want to perform some process automation with the help of UiPath, one background process automation. Once you complete the training, you will get Ethan certification. That is, let's say I want to perform that thing. I want to generate the certificate with the help of UiPath. Rather than manual work, can we do it with the help of UiPath? Yes. Many people ask, what if we have Excel? So can we read the data from Excel? Let me show you one example here. Let's say I have student data, which I'll keep the some input value. Rahul, one of my student. Okay, so I have student information in my Excel sheet. I want to capture this data and I want to generate the certificate in form of PDF. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to read the Excel sheet. I need to write the data in my certificate document and I want to publish it in a PDF. So that business process we can do very easily. I'll show you that process. I think fees and duration, all this stuff, admin team can tell you what is the batch timing and all. Many people are asking question about that, so you can use those things. Okay, please address any real projects will be covered in main course. Yes, Chaitanya, it will be completely hands-on practical scenarios, and we will go with the use cases which are related to the real industry projects. So we will cover those things. So don't worry about that. We are taking care of those things. It is completely based on the real-time scenarios. Are you providing? Okay. So certification is free. Okay, let me just execute this process. Then I'll explain you how it works. What I have done, I have just created one record entry here for one of a student. Okay, which is there. Let me close this Excel also. System will open this Excel automatically and it will perform that. UiPath Studio got closed. One. Yeah, I'm getting more questions. By the time Studio will open, I'll take the questions. Okay, what date certification is free? I think it is till this 30th of April. It is free. Might be it will get extended. Okay, so you can check on UiPath site. Okay, it keeps updating because of Corona. Maybe they will extend this time again for 2 months. Share your number. You can contact admin team, Nikhil. They will provide my number if you require. Are we going to handle the live projects? Yeah, how to get certifications, please tell us. So that will cover in our training program. At the last section we will be doing the certification preparation. In that I will tell you how to get the certification. For that we need to do the registration on a UiPath site, and we will do that. That is part of our training program, so don't worry about that. Once we are ready with hands-on, we will go with that. So let's quickly go through with this document. Okay, so UiPath is having three components. What we are having, this is the journey of UiPath, comparison of UiPath. If you see, there are a number of job opportunities, and growth wise it is very high. Initially we discussed about cognitive RPA concept. UiPath is the first in the cognitive RPA services. If you say, it is having the first entry in that. Certification, as I mentioned, it is having two sections. Phase 1 is for theory and phase 2 is for practical. Okay, UiPath Studio is on. Okay, just run this process. Okay, see that how it works. Agent appear. Now it will perform the action. So it open that Excel sheet. उसने डेटा रीड किया वहां से, अब वो एक्शन परफॉर्म करेगा. What was the action? It is going to write the data in a Word document and it will publish in a PDF. Happen. Sometimes system gets slow. Okay. So you can see that if I want to do the same thing manually, I need to type all these things. It will take a lot of time. And then publishing it in a PDF, again, it will take some time. But what happened here, it captured the data from that document and it published that PDF file. We can see that, okay, there is some other exception. So process completed. We can check that data, whether it has been created or no in my PDF. Yeah, it is there. So it's very easy, right? In UiPath, it's very easy. You can perform like this many things in your day-to-day life. Even if you are performing some actions, you can automate with the help of RP. Let me show you what I have done in this. I just read the data from that student data. Okay. Then what I have done, I just captured the information, first name, subject, date, all the things, and then I opened the Word document, and with the help of recording, what I have done, I prepared that Word document and then I publish it in a PDF format. Okay, so these are the few steps what I have designed, and it's very easy to implement in UiPath. Anyone have any query in this? Hmm. So this much is from my side, guys. If you guys have any question, let me know. I'll take your questions now for 10 minutes. Sushil, can you type here because unmute is not possible. I'll answer your questions. System requirement, it is a window based, Julie. Yes, it's a good question. What are the prerequisites for UiPath Studio? It is a window based only, so it will work on Windows system, and .NET Framework 10 is required for the latest version of UiPath Studio. So UiPath is also upgrading, and whenever it is going to change the latest version, we need to upgrade the .NET Framework. So that is very simple thing. You can download the 4.6 and you can install. So day one we will do the same thing. We will do the installation. At that time, if there is any dependencies, we will do that and we will install the things. So day one is for that thing only. Sushil is having onshore opportunity. Yes, there are many onshore opportunities. Many candidates are there. Okay, Europe, I think 85% market is with UiPath. You should check. You can check on net. What are the job opportunities? Many things are there. Secondly, how can we 6 year experience fit into switch? So that is whenever you want to upgrade a new technology or you want to change the profile, it is a common thing. It will you will get some extra weightage actually. If you are from different background and you want to upgrade yourself, company will see potential in you, right? Your dedication, you want to upgrade yourself. Your experience will also get count, as well as you will get more trust from your employer. They will see, yes, this guy is ready to upgrade yourself, right? So that will be added advantage for you. You don't have to worry. Apart from that, whatever the business processes you are doing right now, try to implement during the training program, or after that also. What you can do, you can try to implement those activities for your practice purpose, which will make you ready for the industry. So what we will be doing, we will go through one by one steps with the foundation, advance, and the use cases which will make you ready for the industry. And we will we will discuss those scenarios which we are facing problems in a real-time project. So once you will face the problem in your lab sessions, you will be ready to handle those situations if it occurs in your real-time project or your future project, whichever you are going to join. So you will be getting complete hands-on, which will be helpful in not only to learning, for implementations and all. Will Ethan's be helping for scheduling interviews? Yes, many things are there. We have WhatsApp groups and all. You can get connected with that. Admin team can help you in this many for few more information they can provide you. But we do that thing. Ethan's is having good reputation in that thing, right? So yeah, it's free to install. Actually, as I mentioned, there are two versions of UiPath Studio. Okay, UiPath is having license copy as well as community edition. So community is free. Community edition you can use for your purpose. Yeah, what about pros and cons and all the things we will see in actual sessions? Each and everything we will discuss in detail. Uh, yeah, for freshers also many job opportunities are there. Okay, when batch will started, please contact to admin team. They can tell you what is the next. We need your help to complete advanced UiPath certification. Akash, we provide that thing, right? Our course is inclined with that certification, advanced UiPath certification. So once you complete the training, you will be ready for that, and you can appear for the exam, and you can get that certification. My almost all candidates are UiPath certified. So you don't need to worry about it because we will cover for certification. You need to know the RE framework and administration section. That is part of our course curriculum. So that thing will be covered. Okay, and we will do that preparation for certification, in which we will talk about what kind of use cases can be there, and in journey we will learn about those things. So don't worry about that certification. I think if you put your 100% efforts, you will get the certificate, but you need to put your efforts. Okay. Any more questions? So, oh, okay, guys. Thanks. I think most of you guys got the thing idea about RPA and the job opportunities and the features of RPA. So I'll conclude the things again. Few things which are very commonly used in industry. People are going for automation. RPA is a tool which provides a company to automate the thing, cost saving as well as improving the performance and building the trust with the clients. So that's the reason companies are going for RPA. And in that, UiPath is the #1 tool which is providing you community edition free of cost, so that you can do the learning as well as the client side POCs also. So that's the reason. As well as the licensing cost is different depending on the component and depending on number of features you want, you can get the license. So companies are preferring UiPath in that terms also. In Blue Prism and other tools, they have a complete set of tools and activities and huge licensing cost. In UiPath, it can be customized depending on your requirement and features you are using. The licensing cost will reduce accordingly. Apart from that, learning is easy. You don't need much technical expertise. Prerequisite is not that much required. What are the basic things required that we will cover in a foundation section? After that, maintenance and deployment, those things are also very easy in UiPath. Yeah, it is online training sessions only, because lockdown and all the things, we cannot have that classroom session, so it will be online training session. For further details, Akash, you can communicate with the admin team. Okay, they will let you know other further details. Okay. So I hope all doubts clear. All of you have got idea about RPA and its feature. Most of the companies are working on RPA, right? Most of the companies right now. Okay, so guys, when classroom session will be resumed, Kedar, that uh, admin team can tell you. Till lockdown is there, we cannot start the classroom session. So that is the situation right now. Because of corona, government is imposing those things. So it is not in our control, so I cannot say anything on this. Okay, so once lockdown is released, then after that only. Okay, any more queries, any doubt? Okay. uh, that PPT and other things, admin team will share you. Okay, what kind of projects? Yeah, Jyoti, as I mentioned, whatever business processes you can do, you are using, you can automate with the help of RPA. There are different types of RPA process automations. Okay, we will see in detail what we can do. How long UiPath will be in market? See, the RPA is in demand, and most of the things are going to be automated. So UiPath is right now number one. So yes, it will be there. Okay. Okay, nothing much. Can you share what kind of processes? Jyoti, when we will have a classroom sessions, now you will see the use cases where we are using. As I clearly mentioned that automation is simple thing. What you do right now on your system, that can be done with the bot. Very simple thing. Programming will not be there. The repetitive task, interaction with the multiple applications, that can be automated easily. Kiran, no, UiPath and cognitive RPA is not different. Cognitive RPA is advanced level of UiPath. Okay, so RPA is the process automation. Top of that, if you create intelligent bot, IQ bots, that is concept of cognitive. When we are going for NLP, we are going to implement, or machine learning algorithms we are implementing with RPA, you can say it is a cognitive RPA. So for that, you need to have both the skills, artificial intelligence as well as UiPath. Yes, Samir, validity of certificate will be for 1 year, but once you are certified and you are working on that tool, industry recognize that, so it's not an issue. Orchestrator is part of UiPath. Yes, we are covering that orchestrator also. So UiPath is having all the three things, and we are covering that. Samir, clear. Okay. So I hope all questions are done. So yeah, thank Chetan. And we have session first. Chetan, you can communicate with admin team because they will let you know when is the next session and when we are going to start all the things. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks everyone to attending the session. And if you have further queries regarding the batch, timing, fees, and all the things, please contact admin team. They will let you know. Okay. So thank you so much.